So here it is, my Honda Deauville NT650V from 2005, 75,000 miles, completely reconditioned. Well, completely, almost completely reconditioned. I am in the British countryside in Dorset, having my first joyride, my first real joyride with that bike. It is extremely comfortable. It is surprisingly comfortable. It is named the Deauville for a reason. I'm not gonna lie, I've got the figures right here. It had, when it was new, 75,000 miles ago, it had 56 horsepower and 55 Newton meter of torque at 6,000 RPM, knowing that the red line is at 8,500 RPM. It is surprisingly torquey down low, and that is because it's a bit of a specific conception. It's the whole African twin engine series that are big V-twins with two spark plugs on each cylinder, which allows for more torque down low. It's actually pushing pretty well. The riding position is completely neutral, which is, it's completely neutral. It's pretty much like being in an armchair. The bars are pretty wide, are a bit wider than on my Bandit 400. It is much less of a sporty condition. It fits really well for someone like me. When you are in your 50s, you don't want something that's going to take a strain to your knees and your hips. When you are 50 plus like me and you are new to riding, so your body is not used to a particularly dynamic position on the bike, a motorcycle like that has a completely neutral position with a knee that is almost square, a hip that is more than square, and bars that are not completely at extension, is actually much more comfortable on the long run. I have just done about 2 hours on that bike, and I can easily go for another 2 hours, no problem whatsoever. It's not fast, I'm not gonna lie, it's not fast at all. My Bandit 400, who has technically pretty much the same figures, just under 60 horsepower and 50 something Newton meter, is much more responsive. That is more it's more like a tractor than a race car. I totally understand why it's called the Deauville. However, it's still going really well. I had it at well over the speed limit on the highway before coming in the countryside. Though it is not particularly fast, it is still capable of going well above the speed limit. Don't ask me how I know, but I do. It's pushing really well in second gear, third gear, when you're going from 20, 30 miles an hour, you know, like city limit, and you're just going outside of the city, going all of a sudden to 60, 70 miles an hour. You can see on the acceleration, it's really pushing well, even though that's a 20-year-old bike. So what has been done on that bike up to now? First off, you may have noticed there is no longer all the massive scratches that were on the fairings. Here, if you follow the series, you know how that came to be. The mudguard is also, looks now much better than it used to. All the electrics work. The valves have been done, not for the front cylinder, only for the rear cylinder. Compression has been tested, exhaust has been tested, coolant has been tested, and the only thing that is that's left to be done now is to do a proper oil change, and obviously the oil filter. As it happens, I realized that when I put the bike as it is right now on the side stand, I always have a couple of drops of oil coming down when the bike is warm, just a couple of drops, but not when the bike is on the center stand. So I was a bit miffed by that because I knew there was an oil leak on the gasket of the rocker cover, but that has been sorted. So I was wondering where that oil comes. As it turns out, the oil filter itself, the O-ring of the oil filter, lets oil drip out. I'm not quite sure how that happens, but I've looked really in details, and it happens only when the bike is on the side stand. So my theory is that when the oil was there was too much oil in the bike when I got it, like way too much oil in the bike when I got it. The pressure release valve, the oil pressure release valve, has somehow failed, and now the oil filter is just well, giving up oil basically, or maybe it's the valve itself. So the final bit of mechanics I need to do on that is going to be to change that oil filter and the oil release pressure valve. It's a small part. I just don't have the tools to do it for the moment. That's in back order. I will do that in a few days. It's just a few drops. I'm not quite sure how that happens. Now the real question is, why did I choose that bike considering I already have one? I already have a Bandit 400, as you know. And that's actually a good question. The thing is, with the Bandit 400, it's my pride and joy. It's great fun. It is surprisingly fast. It is very nimble. It's really good. It's really good fun, great fun. This is not that much fun. However, the seating position, the ability to carry 20 liter plus 20 liter plus 60 liter, which is 100 liters, plus having the glove box. I don't know how to call that, glove box compartment or something. I'm going to show you a little bit. I've got plenty here. I've got my lock, obviously. Vape liquid, all the little gubbins I need to do the camera thingy and the sound thingy. I don't know if you can see there, but yeah, I've invested a little bit in that as well. All that can easily fit in those little compartments. The tripod can be attached easily. That's basically a car on wheels. It's just more fun. Because even though it's dull, because even though it is too slow for a lot of people and too heavy, that thing is 235 kilograms for 55 horsepower, so there is that. It is extremely convenient, and it is obviously much more fun than the car anyways. So in winter, having the ability to carry like your waterproofs, another set of shoes, having the proper windscreen, proper protection for your legs, it is just infinitely more comfortable than the Bandit. And this is something I've realized over time. You can't do everything with one single bike. No bike can do everything. I think, in my opinion, that 3 bikes is what you need. You need your pride and joy, you need your fun toy for the weekend, purely for your rides. That's my Bandit 400. You need a bike that you can use on a daily basis as a commuter that allows you to do a little bit of groceries, or just go in the city to buy something, or go to the next city easily and comfortably, taking the highway, the dual carriageway, and come back with some sort of payload. And you probably need a third bike, I think, that is a bit of a more rugged bike, something with which you will be able to do a minimum of like green laning if you want to go camping, if you want to carry more stuff for proper journeys. My aim with that bike, and we'll see that in the future, there's probably going to be videos about that, is to take my camera equipment and go to the Lake District, the Peak District, maybe go to Dartmoor, things like that, to just go on a camera photographic trip on the bike. Anyway, it's Sunday, it's a beautiful day, let's go for a ride.
Okay guys, that's it for today. More to come very soon, and in between, don't forget, on the road, behave like grown-ups. Stay safe. See you soon.